Mr. Tripp. No, I'm sorry, I'm skipping over our department report for this month. I'm sorry, Mr. Day. Get your last one. We don't want to hear from you anymore.
Good. Actually, Mayor and Council, I'm glad to have the excuse to talk to you and others about my favorite subject. And I'm going to recover some of what the mayor covered already. We did in highlights of 2014 and then a little look ahead to 2015. We did obtain grants for $278,500 in 2014. Consisted of two grants. One was from the FAA for $218,000, and that covers three projects. One of them is a master plan update. That work is in progress, and we've received draft chapters, the first 2 out of 6 chapters. The third chapter is expected within a couple of weeks for our review. And the lighting, the approach lighting projects, the PAPIs, or the glide slope guidance lighting on the east end of the runway, and the runway end identifier lights on the west end of the runway. The hardware for the PAPIs has been received by the contractor about a week ago. He's expecting the remainder of the hardware to be received within about a week. And once the weather permits, there's about a week of construction of installing those things. So if the weather cooperates, we could have that project, those lighting projects, done by the end of the first week of March. The second grant was from the Arkansas Department of Aeronautics, and that was for the timber clearing that the mayor mentioned. We have 300 and some acres at the airport, and 95 acres of that was in timber. And about 20 acres was close enough to the runway and the wind measuring devices that it either caused turbulence at the runway or caused the wind indicators to not tell the truth completely. We'd look up at the flag outside the terminal building and look over at the wind indicators, and they'd be telling us different things. We needed to get the trees pushed back away from them. That project, the clearing, is probably about 80% complete. The leveling, so we can bush hog it and keep it that way, is probably about 50% complete. And of course, we still have 100% of the seeding and mulching to do on that. Business-wise, the volume of fuel sold in 2014 exceeded the preceding year by 25%. That's the good news. The bad news, or the not so good news, is the preceding year was 25% lower than the year ahead of it. So I think we've seen the bottom of the economic dip there as far as aviation is concerned, and hopefully we keep seeing it go up. We did handle or support approximately 5,500 aircraft operations. You may have seen considerably larger numbers for the airport in the past. A large portion of that for us and a lot of airports where those numbers were totally estimated and kind of and we've been counting, and then of course we don't stay out there at night to count, so we add about 10% to count for the ones we don't get. But that also is about 1,000 more, or 25% more than the traffic in the preceding year. So it looks like we're on the upslope coming out of the economic, whatever you want to call it. The replacement avgas truck that you funded is currently being worked on by Rebel Enterprises in Ripley, Mississippi. We used the state vehicle contract program to buy a 1-ton chassis cab truck for $22,000, and that's about $10,000 less than we anticipated we'd have to pay if we just went out for bids on the retail market. And the product package, the tank and the pumps and everything for fueling planes, is being refurbished and put on that, and it'll be delivered back to us hopefully before April 15th. Since we have another truck, we're not in a big pressure for schedule, and we said, you guys set your own schedule that you're comfortable with. We'll go with that, and then there's liquidated damages after that. And the end of that is April 15th. And they are working on it now, so we're optimistic on that. 2015 plans, we aren't going to do, other than finishing up 2014 projects, we aren't going to do any physical construction at the airport. We're going to complete the 2014 projects. And a couple of years ago, we bought the 10-acre farm across Elmira from the end of the runway to get control of that. And in 2015, we're going to the FAA to get that refunded. We essentially get the fair market value that we determined through appraisal and all of the costs associated with that back. So we end up possibly not costing the city anything for that, and possibly as much as $6,000 out of about $140,000. That completes what I had prepared as a report, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
I have a question. Are you going to come back and visit us?
I probably will. It's the best show in town.
I'm going to miss you. It's been a pleasure working with you, Mr. Day.
Well, thank you. Good night.
I think since this is your last report to us, congratulations. Enjoy your retirement, but mostly thank you for the advancements you made at the airport in your tenure over there. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much.